News alert. According to state-run media in Iran, the new leader, the new Ayatollah, has been selected. There are indications, although these are not confirmed, there are indications that the new leader is the son of the late Ayatollah Khamenei. Let's bring in Jamil Jaffer, the founder and executive director of the National Security Institute at George Mason University. If this is correct, if it is the son who's going to be running Iran in the stead of his late father, how does that change anything, Jamil? What do you think?
Well, John, what the President Trump has made clear is that he does not want Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of Ali Khamenei, the former supreme leader, to be the next leader of Iran. He's made clear that would not be acceptable to him. He's indicated that he expects Iran to select a new leader that will be acceptable to the United States. So we'll see what that means. But in fact, if this assembly of experts, the constitutional body in Iran that's charged with choosing the next supreme leader, has in fact met and has in fact selected Mojtaba Khamenei, they're going to see something coming. And in fact, Israel's made clear that whoever they select, including the people who select this leader, will be new targets for U.S. and American and Israeli airstrikes. So we'll see if that in fact comes to pass as well.
Yeah, if there is any indication of his whereabouts, he is very much a marked man.
No, that's exactly right. And in fact, the prior event, as you know, when the first supreme leader was killed because he was at a meeting of a larger clerical group. And so there's no doubt in my mind that if this assembly of experts, when it does meet, if it has already met or when it meets in the future, its meetings will be targeted and this new leader will be a target. And so he'll have a bullseye on his back. You know, there was a time, John, if you remember, when al-Qaeda was repeatedly selecting new number threes, the operational leader of al-Qaeda, and we repeatedly kept taking out the number three, probably about a half dozen, if not a dozen times, time and time again, month after month. And so, you know, the Iranians should expect that if they select supreme leaders that are not acceptable to the United States and Israel, which, again, they're almost certainly going to, that they're going to be in for a real challenge.
Let's talk about relations with Britain. Originally, Britain said it would not allow U.S. forces to use some of its key bases like Diego Garcia. Then they relented on that. Yesterday, President Trump was pretty brutal verbally against Keir Starmer, the prime minister. He said, we like allies who join us from the beginning, not who jump in after the war is already won. The two of them apparently had a conversation this morning. How do you suppose that went?
Well, look, I mean, I think President Trump is frustrated with the Brits and with Prime Minister Starmer in particular for not supporting the U.S. mission from the get-go. They did, as you rightly point out, they did allow us to use the bases in Diego Garcia and elsewhere, but only for defensive purposes. They haven't allowed us to use their facilities for offensive purposes. But now there's discussion of the U.K. putting a carrier battle group into the Gulf or into the Mediterranean and become part of the fight. And President Trump, I think, reasonably is frustrated by this. Now, look, I think we should accept any help that we can get, getting the allies in. There's been talk by the Egyptians of putting together an Arab defense force. That would be valuable as well to defend those nations that are being attacked by Iran. So we'll see how this plays out. But it's not surprising that President Trump is frustrated and pointing out to Keir Starmer that you should have been in from the get-go and not coming in as a Johnny-come-lately when the war is going better or the conflict's going better than expected.
Israel says that it managed to kill 5 senior commanders of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps in the last 12, 18 hours or so. It seems like anybody in the military or civilian leadership of that country is getting whacked.
Well, that's exactly right. I think what it demonstrates is the real quality of both Israeli and American intelligence in the region to identify where these individuals are meeting, how they're getting together, and be able to target them directly for action. Now, that will get harder over time as the Iranians get smarter about how to protect where the leaders are meeting. And it'll also get harder as there are less and less of these individuals in power. Now, the reality is that the Iranians have a huge number of senior leaders in their government, senior clerics that they can put in the supreme leader spot, and senior military officials they can put up. So it will take a while to take out the Iranian military leadership and their religious leadership as well. This could be a much longer conflict than the 3-4 weeks even President Trump described at the outset, if in fact the goal is to keep taking out folks as they get put in these new jobs.
All right, Jamil Jaffer, we'll continue to watch it with you. Thank you.
Thanks, John.